Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. This is a tactical and strategy war game that we have played a lot on this channel. This is actually episode number 30 in our Confederate Let's Play series. Really quick, this is a new game-ish. It's available on Steam. The war is going very well on our Let's Play. We've taken Washington, D.C., almost the entire state of Maryland. We have held the Union at bay in the West. We haven't been able to push into Kentucky, but we have at least held the line there. The war is going very well. The Union is close to defeat, but they just won't give up yet. Their national morale just is 10% too high. And we won a major victory in our last battle. We're trying to win another major victory in this battle. The Federals are attacking our corps that is holding Washington, D.C. That's the Battle of Aqueduct Bridge. And we're outnumbered almost 2-1 in this fight, so it's going to be a tough fight, but hopefully we can win. We are, I believe, technically going to be on the offensive, but we'll talk about that here in a second. This was taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel. If you're interested in following those, there's a link in the description. And without further ado, let's jump into this thing. Oh, don't tell me we have to attack? They're coming at us. I should not have to attack here. Oh, no. All right, let's see what we can do. On a scale of 1 to 10, would you rating 1 to 10 picking this game up? It's a if you like the American Civil War and you are not an impatient player, because I think the campaign plays best when you're not like overly aggressive, I would say probably 7 or 8 out of 10. And Last March to the Sea, yes, I am a Brewers fan. And I grew up in a suburb of Milwaukee. I don't understand this one. Like, usually the game's pretty good about saying, like, this unit's moving to advance, and so they're on the offensive. I don't understand this one at all. Why are we on the defensive, or on the offensive? I don't agree with that. Oh boy, Magruder's boys bled down white from multiple battles. I have not played much in the way of tabletop war games. It's I would love to. Like, it's just I grew up without anyone, like, board games weren't like a huge thing outside of, like, you know, Monopoly and whatever. I played, I think it was Battle Cry of Freedom, I think it was. There was a Civil War board game that I looped like my best friend into playing at a ski lodge because he was a big skier and I wasn't, but we like played it there a couple of times. But generally speaking, I was not like a big board game person. I got my dad to play Axis and Allies, and then Axis and Allies Europe, and a couple of friends to play Axis and Allies. But like I was never into like deep wargaming. I think I told this story before, but we started a history club at my high school while I was there, and we had like a big event for the club where we had like 40 people who all played on like 5 different tables, 5 different versions of Axis and Allies. But like that's the closest I ever got to like really board gaming, and I know that's a very casual kind of a board game. And I frankly, like, you know, millennial that I am, most of my friends weren't like super into historical wargaming. You know, even my history nerd friends, or, you know, my friend who did a stint in the Marines, like, they're just into other things. So, you know, we do things like trap shooting or whatever, shooting clays, sporting clays, and things like that, but like never tabletop wargaming. It would be cool. I think it would be a lot of fun to do sometime. And I know, oh shit, what are you doing here? How about you don't quite engage these guys yet? Bill, maybe like tell Stephen Lee, how about you halt? Don't get into range with these guys. They're in pretty damn big and good looking entrenchments. But yeah, it'd be fun to do. And I believe there's a lot more resources nowadays for like folks looking to put together groups and things like that than there probably were not that long ago. All right, Frost, you're going to come up from the south. Maybe we can flank these guys? Are we in the middle of a snowstorm? Why are we attacking in the middle of a snowstorm? We really should have just accepted the, we should have deployed to defend, actually. There was an option for that where basically you decide we're not going to be on the offensive. We'll let the enemy attack us if they decide to, but otherwise we'll just start a siege battle. That's really what we should have done. I just assumed we'd still be on the defensive because they were the ones marching at us, but I guess not. Jones, deploy. No, not like that. Deploy. Well, we lost sight of the enemy. There's still the trenches there, but we can't see them at the moment. Looks like they're dug in this direction too, so kudos to the AI. Also some troops up to the north here. If we could sucker them into moving out of their entrenchments, we'd be in much better shape. Don't know how far their entrenchments extend. Remember, they outnumber us about 2-to-1, so they've got enough troops to have a much longer line. Love the name Last March to the Sea. Are we going to do another March to the Sea? Do we need to resurrect some William Tecumseh Sherman vibes? Also, rip to the Brewers. Like, they frickin' fell apart this year. Yeah, Frost has been a good general for us. You can see he's got 4 stars here. Experienced. His fame is renowned. He's been a good commander for us. Try being a Red Sox fan. That's true, but you guys have won a World Series in my lifetime. The Brewers have never won a World Series, so there's that. Although until I won't take shit from any Cubs fans until the Brewers go, what was it, 109 years between titles? Like, sorry guys, but I don't care that you won a title 6 years ago. Doesn't matter. It took you 109 or whatever years to do that. Plus, I'm a Packers fan, so lol Bears. All right. I don't mind the Blue Jays. Someone. Paul Molitor won a couple titles there, didn't he? Didn't he leave the Brewers and go win 2 titles with the Blue Jays right away, and then went to Minnesota? Joe Buck calls everything Cajun. He's always like, whatever. Just one? Okay. Did he win another one in Minnesota then? But he was like immediately the MVP when he left, right? After the Brewers lowballed him. One of my friends has Paul Molitor on speed dial. All right, let's see if we can flank them with Hill to the north. I don't know how far this trench line goes up there. If the enemy did fall back off that initial trench, which it looks... Oh, maybe not. It does look like the trench line goes that way. It's only cavalry, right? So you can dislodge them. Oh, there's infantry there too. Fuck. Well... Oh, fuck. I don't want to engage there. Fall back before you're so heavily engaged you can't survive. Is there a way to turn off use roads? They should not be using roads. There we go. Oh, Stephen Lee's wounded already. Fucker. Caught like one of the first volleys. All right. Maybe we can use these fences to shield our advance. Baseball indeed, Index. And Rob Manfred hates baseball. Fuck that guy. What are we doing? The enemy cavalry wants to move out and fight me. I'm okay with that. If they want to pursue, I am 100% okay with that. Come at me, AI. Let's turn that frown upside down. We rout your brigade and things can change real fast. Never understood the game. You know. Does he hate baseball more than Goodell hates the Saints? I don't know. Good question. Does Goodell hate the Saints or does he just hate New Orleans? Alright. Cavalry's coming like right at us. Stephen Lee's brigade. Wounded commander. Alright, right. How about you move up and engage this cavalry? Are they just, like, trying to... I'm assuming they want to close the distance, maybe? If they wanted to charge, they should do it on horseback. What's the difference? I don't know. I'm not sure what the... I'm assuming the AI wanted to do something. I'm okay with whatever the hell this is, though. Guys are behind good entrenchments. I just gotta like see if I can like trick the AI into leaving their positions, I guess. Now the horsemen didn't really like abandon those trenches. There are infantry in those trenches as well. But at least we've turned the tide in terms of casualties here. You'd think they'd start shooting back. I don't know why they're not. I think they're still trying to get into position. I think there's still troops filtering in. I'm gonna wreck this cavalry brigade, though. They are technically behind some cover, which I'm assuming are some trees along the creek bed. But, pouring volleys in from Stephen Lee's brigade. We've also just got Wright's brigade up here engaging as well. The AI's doing something dumb. They should not be taking this long to start shooting. Yeah, units do get stuck on creek beds in this game, which is unfortunate because there's so many of them. Every map, it's like there's 20 of the damn things. Alright, so actually, it looks like the entrenchments might end here, and they've got one brigade refusing their line here along this fence line. I'm okay engaging that one brigade. Fife's brigade. 1,200 men. Both of my brigades down here in the south outnumber that. So if we can fix and flank them, I've got to like pick off individual units to have a chance in this battle. Because we're so heavily outnumbered. If we can route individual units, we can turn things around here. Kind of what we're doing up here in the north. Also, I think visibility is bad in this game because of in this battle because of the snowstorm. Like normally, this trench line here would be raking Waitman's brigade as it moves south. It's definitely in rifle range from these troops in these trenches, but we're in the middle of a snowstorm, so visibility is bad, which is kind of cool. I'm not going to complain too much about this Federal Cavalry Brigade being stuck on this creek bed. It's now facing 3 enemy brigades all at once, and they're all going to die. So keep that in mind, folks. Visibility is definitely influenced by weather, and things are working out for us because of that right now. We did take that volley. We lost that one commander. That was a pretty bad start. I think this Federal Cavalry Brigade is melting. Help, I'm melting! And they're just sitting there and dying. Rip. Well, whatever. I'm okay with it. We'll pretend we lured them into an ambush across the river, which we kind of did. We moved forward. We fell back on contact. The enemy sent cavalry out to poke at us and screen us, and then we just started melting them. So, you know, that feels right. You know, bad weather, snowstorm. Screening unit gets hit from 3 sides and just dies en masse. Okay with that. Alright, so can these guys reach them if we switch to long range fire? Doesn't quite look like we're in range of this brigade over here on the flank, which kind of sucks because it would be great to have them on the front. Wow, look at that unit. It is just gonna get wiped out. Pretty much. 900 out of 1,500 men are casualties. And I think they're stuck. They're still taking fire. And they're routing now. 600 men left. Minor victory now. The victory points are changed over a bit. Are we both in range? Saw smoke there. Alright, you engage at long range too. So we've got 2 brigades here now, both in cover. Cummings Brigade and the 1st Virginia under Alexander Lawton. Alexander Lawton is an old hand. He's got 5 stars of experience. So we've got 4,100 muskets online against 1,100 Federals. This is the entirety of Frost's division. So if we can pick off this brigade of Federals on the flank, that might result in good things also. We'll see if Lee can advance a little bit down this creek bed here. Back toward where the enemy were in those trenches. Maybe they've shifted their position. Maybe that cavalry has moved out. We know there's 2 lines of trenches here. There's one in the front and there's one on the flank. Oh, we are now engaging the Federals and the cavalry here. Where we were. Got a volley off and then they just disappeared into the snow. And now we're being shot at. Can't see who's shooting at us. So how about you fall back there? Let's not do what the AI did to us. This is weird. Like, it's something to do with the way that the ground is manifesting itself. I can't see the guys who are shooting at me. But I, for a second, could see a unit that we exchanged a volley with. So we'll halt there. This is very much a micromanaging kind of a battle here. We are wrecking this flank brigade for the Federals. Again, we outnumber them in terms of muskets online by about 4-1. About 3-1 in terms of casualties that we're inflicting. So we should be able to rout another brigade here and get these numbers closer to even. Although these 3 brigades that I'm experimenting with across this river here should just not do that, because we are losing casualties there that we don't want to lose. Take. I can't even see them and they're shooting at me. Like, this is the same thing that happened to the AI. Oh, fuck. Wright's brigade is in trouble. He's, like, stuck on that creek. Alright, so 2nd Brigade on this flank is in trouble. But if I lose Wright's brigade, that's 1,300 men. Can you guys just retreat? Just run. No. Can you please get out of there? You're in combat range. Get out of there faster, preferably. I can't afford to lose 1,300 men to routing. That'll undermine most of the good work these 2 flanking, or this initial engagement with enemy cavalry did. Oh, they broke. Fuck. Maybe the commander can stop them from routing off the map. God, they broke losing only 100 men? I guess being shot at when you didn't know where you're being shot at from is pretty disheartening, but that basically just completely undid the routing of the Federal Cavalry Brigade. 500 on the flank. Cummings boys are losing heavily. They're morale is not great. Lawton's troops are fine. Bring the 3rd CS up to support under Edward Johnson. Is this shooting at anyone? Looks like they're firing. It says they're engaged. Can't see who they're shooting at. They're not taking casualties as far as I can tell. Coming. I guess it is your brigade's first battle, but still, do better. 2nd Brigade on the flank here is losing about 50% casualties. You know what would be nice, and I don't think the game does this, at least I haven't seen it, is if you rout an enemy unit, if you're the unit that participated in the rout of the enemy unit, if your morale went up. By the way, because we lost that 1 brigade, now it's shifted back over to a defeat. Hoping when we rout this other flank brigade that thing's correct. Who are you shooting at, you guys? You're shooting at someone. You're not taking fire, but you are shooting at someone. So presumably you're inflicting some casualties. I don't know who you're shooting at because I can't see. Only 400 men left in this brigade. Wow. 2nd Brigade, 4th Division, in trouble. And I think they're gone. And they're gone. Okay, so that's good. We'll get the 3rd CS up here, and then we'll see if we can pursue. Maybe we can turn their flank. I'm not quite sure. Oh, there we go. So visibility must be getting better. Weather's come up about 5 degrees. It like suddenly just the enemy forces appeared and then disappeared again. I'm confused. We're going to pull Wegman back. We'll bring Reynolds up to extend the flank. Go where that broken brigade is. Are those other guys rallying anywhere? Maybe by tomorrow that broken brigade's morale will improve. 2nd Brigade lost 800 men. They've got 450 left. Switches back over to a minor victory. All right, so the troops on the right here don't appear to be in trenches. So that's good for us. Problem is there's a lot of them. Let's shift coming over to the right a little bit. This is troops morale. I'd rather they not bear the brunt of enemy fire. And we'll move Lawton over here. 3rd CS, these are regulars, so they should be very good troops. Coming up as well. Also, it looks like someone, or no, that was the brigade that we already routed. I think they retreated into our lines and we fired a volley at them and they went back the other direction. Magruder, how about you focus your efforts on the right flank since that's where the bulk of our advance is going. We're doing okay ammo-wise, right? 47 rounds, 46 rounds, and 60. So this will give us a total punch on the right of about 18, 38, 353, 5,300 troops. 547 enemy troops have left the field of battle. Already lost about 2,000 men. What are you shooting at? The visibility is so inconsistent. Now, the good news is these guys they're shooting at are cavalry and have shorter ranged weapons. So they're getting in a couple of kills, but the enemy's in trenches, so probably not as many as I'd like. 3rd CS has come up. Like to try and overlap the flank of the enemy a little bit. Let's actually move the CS over here. Maybe like behind the line. I don't want you to advance in front. It's already 1,400 hours. So by the time this attack on the right goes in, it'll be getting close to nighttime. I really haven't used my artillery. Maybe I should do that. Wright's brigade is panicked, no longer broken, at least. And another volley at the 1st Cavalry here. They have lost a few troops, actually. They may be more vulnerable because their horses are out behind the trenches. Now, the enemy gets a little bit of victory points every minute they hold the objective, so that's something we also have to consider. We're going to move the 3rd CS in behind the lines and then try and extend out, perhaps past the enemy line. Let's speed things along a little bit. East Brigade just getting the occasional like, oh, the clouds have cleared. We can see the target. Let's shoot. What a weird experience fighting in the snowstorm. Mortality rate of wounded is terrible. Okay. Interesting. So the weather influences casualties in terms of wounded versus killed, I'm guessing. I'm okay with that. All right. Johnson, advance. All right, let's do this. Let's switch your attack over to long range fire. And see if we can... the enemy line might extend further too, so we might be... especially if the objective's over here. Let's advance a little bit. Along this fence line. I'd rather they shoot at Lawton first. Oh, there's a detachment coming out. Okay. No, I mean, yeah, sometimes the AI is passive. Not always. We got our artillery into play, too. Looks like we've got Lane's battalion firing. Working on getting the other batteries up. Honestly, the enemy cavalry there is better off where they are. They're better off staying back, in my opinion. Cumming is taking casualties. We can't see where the fuckers are. God, this snowstorm is awesome and also sucks at the same time. Third CS has orders to advance. Cumming is like still technically in some cover here. He's going like in and out of sight of these enemy skirmishers in this wood. These guys are technically partially in cover. The enemy is not. They're in the open, so that's good. On the right flank here. Cumming is continuing to take some casualties. We've got some riders over here heading to Johnson. Lawton is firing at, I'm not sure which of these brigades, perhaps multiple. Drove off the skirmishers. I'm assuming that's Cummings' brigade here, the 1,600 men moving forward. And the orders arrived to Johnson. So Lawton's engaged. Hopefully his boys will hold steady as the enemy advances on us. They're still shooting at Cummings, which is the brigade I didn't want them to shoot at because they're the closest to routing. They've already suffered 300 casualties. Looks like the enemy's bringing forward a 3rd brigade as well, so the 3rd brigade has 2,800 muskets. They'll actually out-musket the 1st Virginia. Hopefully they don't get close enough to this fence line to get the whole brigade into cover. Right now they're advancing across open ground. They stopped. Oh, damn, they're still technically in partial cover. They've got more men than pulling back slightly. My troops are veterans, and I don't think theirs are. But I don't know. right, or not Bushrod. Every Johnson, every general with the name Johnson to me is either Joseph E. Johnson or Bushrod Johnson. Oh, Cummings, you're losing a lot of men. Right, so we drove these guys back with moderate casualties. Over 300 probably. Alright, move forward to this fence line. Maybe you'll have better line of sight on the enemy and also get them to stop shooting at Arthur Cummings. You're up to 2,400 to 700 casualties total. No one artillery has lost sight of the enemy here. They had them in line of sight and then they lost them. The snowstorm's playing havoc with us. Some of our troops are getting shot again in Cummings Brigade. And the artillery sees him and then it doesn't. We'll start losing visibility soon too, because it's 1600 hours. Artillery is shooting at this brigade over here. Oh boy. I tried to speed things along. And looks like Cummings has been wounded. Boys are nervous. Can you stop shooting at his boys? If I'm worried if I order the withdrawal, they will rout. So let's do this. Let's advance to this position. And let's have Johnson advance. Here. Oh, they routed. Never mind. Well, they're panicked. I guess technically... Oh, no. It says they're broken. Can you rally? Hopefully you rally. It looks like Alexander Lawton's brigade and Edward Johnson's brigades, 3,400 troops are engaged. Casualties still favor us slightly anyway. Give me night or give me no snowfall. Okay, so Wright's boys look like they have rallied. Get you in a position on the right then. Haha! Wright has right to the right. And it looks like their actually morale is pretty good. Rally, boys. Magruder, go rally them. Be an inspiration to your men. Enemy skirmishers out front are not great for our casualty ratio, I don't think. Second Brigade's lost about 500 men here. Lawton's hanging in there. Moving up to the fence line. That should give them some nice cover. Not quite there yet. There he is. The one enemy unit you're shooting at is just their skirmishers. To hell with the ratios, get in there and whip them. I'm outnumbered 2-1, so ratios matter. Alright, looks like they are trying to rally Cummings boys. They did lose 500 men in their first engagement. skirmishers can't be doing all that damage, right? Can they? Wasting all this ammo shooting just at skirmishers. It's almost 1700 hours. I don't know what time the sun goes down, but it is December, so probably not too far from that. Alright, so those skirmishers have been routed. We're now engaging the core unit here. The core unit is in the open and is outnumbered by 300 with muskets. Granted, they haven't lost 300 men already. Still has us tracking toward a minor victory. This is a slow run slog. We have not had any troops to withdraw from the battlefield so far. They've had about 1,000. We're shooting at 2 brigades, actually. Johnson, your regulars, the problem is you're so far from your division commander, it takes forever for orders to get to you. So we'll move him over there to you. Lawton's gonna have enough left in the tank. He may not even be able to defeat the 2nd Brigade here, depending on how quickly they rout. Losing quite a few men. Looks like 2nd Brigade's casualties are ticking up more quickly, but still. And I don't see the point in moving another brigade over there because they won't get in. They won't get there before the day is up. All right. Johnson's moving forward now. 1st Brigade's moving back. Alright, well, why don't you move in on the flank of the 2nd Brigade here and then give Lawton the support he needs. Hey, Hoffman, how you doing? So we'll flank this brigade. We're just trying to eke out a victory by defeating the enemy in detail in a snowstorm. Drive that enemy corps back and keep Washington safe. John Magruder is going to be the freaking hero of the Confederacy. Dude's fought very well compared to his historical reputation anyway. Prince John. Okay, these guys are still broken, but resting. Magruder is a 2-star with renowned reputation. $400 casualties for Lawton's boys. End of the day. Troops resupplied. Okay. Redeploy. So this is a little bit strange. Okay, let's deploy. So Cummings' boys are well rested and intact. We'll deploy them here. Deploy 1 battery of artillery over here on Lawton's flank. Jones's division is here, so we're actually going to deploy right. Maybe on this hill. Maybe they can take the objective. And then I think Reynolds is also in Johnson's division, right? Jones's division. Yeah, he is. So Reynolds here in case the enemy wants to flank Johnson. Move Jones right away to get him into position. No, gotta ride him over that way. And then Hill will guard the flank, which, by the way, we may be in contact with the enemy if it's no longer a snowstorm on day 2. I don't know. Try and get some of my artillery up and into combat here. A lot of my guns were largely inactive on day 1. Okay. These guys are on fence lines. I guess let's also give the troops on this side of the river some parapets. Not what you did not build what I wanted to do. Why is this not working? All right. In case they try and come across the river and flank Hill's division. Didn't Hill have another brigade somewhere? All right. Let's see what the Federals do. It is still a snowstorm, though. Where are you going? Like, what? I didn't order you to do that, did I? Why don't you halt? I don't know where Johnson's brigade's going, but that doesn't look smart. Did the enemy abandon these trenches? Taking the right fork from them, so the objective on the right. It's hard to tell what the enemy did position-wise, because these guys are just marching ahead with, I don't even know where the goddamn hell they think they're going. Pretty sure I ordered them to halt, but... So where did the enemy withdraw to? All right, well, it looks like they abandoned these trenches, so let's move Hill's division forward. Jones' division, you can stay in place. I guess Frost will move you. No. Should be a double line or a single line. Artillery up here. This is tricky, though, because of the bad weather. Anyway, we're taking the right fork. That'll ensure that we probably win on objective points. Not sure where the enemy went. It could be anywhere. Okay, so we took the right fork objective. Battle is now a defensive battle. Where did the enemy go? Anderson? What do you mean? Up to the right? I mean, I don't see anyone up that way. That's a building, not a unit. They certainly could be up that way. Well, that was the first day of this battle, outnumbered over 2-1, and the thing went reasonably well. We did have two brigades get routed, but we inflicted pretty heavy losses on the Federals, and so it claims we have a small victory on our hands at the moment. However, that's only the case if we can push the Federals off the map and convince them to retreat. And at the moment, they still heavily outnumber us, and we're not sure where they're at. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can find and engage them, and if we can turn them out of their positions, that would be great. But that will be for another time, because this battle still has a fair bit of time to go. So we'll pick that up in the next episode. Until the next episode, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.